This next episode was a lot of fun to do, but kind of difficult for me to do. The Lord told me that I would have to share more about myself, which I don't really like to do. So here's to getting to know me.
So the viewers are asking about you. We want to know about Angel. So we're going to do something called Tell Me Something Good. I'm going to ask you some questions. I want your honest response. We really want to know about Miss Angel. So what is this about peanut butter and jelly?
Peanut butter and jelly. I do not like peanut butter and jelly. When we were kids, my brothers used to eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and make them look so good, but I never got it. I still don't like them, and I still don't know why that combination ever came together.
So what is it? Is it like the peanut butter? Is it the jelly? Or is it the combination?
I don't really like peanut butter. I don't really like jelly, so it's like putting two things together that I don't really like.
If you can do anything all the time, what would it be?
Definitely travel. I love to travel. I feel like traveling exposes you to new cultures. It just opens up your mind to new things, and it changes the way you think. And it's just great to be able to experience other people's food and their languages and just the way they do things. I love it.
Where did you last visit?
I last visited Costa Rica, which is why I have this nice golden brown tan.
So I heard you have a car fetish?
I do have a car fetish. I don't know where that came from. I actually do think I know where it came from. You know how when you're a child and you play these games in the car with your siblings, and like whatever awesome car you see go by, you say, oh, that's my car, that's my car. I can remember playing that game as a kid and thinking, I hate saying that's my car, not knowing what the car make and model was. So for some reason around that time, I just started to make it my purpose to know every kind of car that drove by. And so now I have this car fetish. I'm kind of like Jay Leno about it. And I told the Lord that I wanted 7 cars, one for every day of the week. Cars or trucks, SUVs, whatever. We'll see if he blesses me with that.
Wow. What is special about the place you grew up?
The place I grew up was called Roosevelt Reynolds Road, and actually it was named after my great-grandfather, and all of my family members lived on that road, cousins, aunts, uncles. It was the best experience, and I think that all children should be able to experience that.
So you did a half marathon this year?
I did 2 half marathons this year, one in Charlotte and one in Birmingham. I actually was hoping that I would be able to do one in Virginia this month because my friends and I have this thing where we like to try to go conquer a half marathon in different states. I was hoping I would be able to do one in Virginia, which is my hometown, by the end of the year, but I'm so busy now, I don't think it'll happen.
What website do you visit most often?
I mean, doesn't everyone Google everything? I guess I'd have to say Google.
Name 2 things that you always have in your purse, outside of the typical driver's license, money, things like that. What is something that you have that is probably a little unusual?
Let's see, probably always lip gloss, because who likes chapped lips? And maybe a fan. I guess I'd have to say a fan, like a diva fan. My girlfriends and I always have a fan with us, and my mother.
Very interesting. Stock market.
Stock market, I love the stock market. I trade stock options. Shout out to Anita for teaching me how to trade. I think that the concept of the stock market is something that everyone should learn, at least understand, even if you don't become a trader. The concept blew my mind when I understood it. It's just amazing how you can make so much money from anywhere in the world doing something legal like that. I love the stock market.
You get one wish. What is it?
One wish. My wish would be to be multilingual. I always tell the Lord God, you can do anything. I would love for you to supernaturally give me the gift of tongues, because I don't think that you could put a value on what an asset it would be to travel anywhere in the world and be able to communicate with anyone.
You say you're a kingdom funder. What is that?
So a kingdom funder is someone that feels like the Lord has called you to fund God's kingdom. And by that I mean, whatever God wants money put toward, because I know that a lot of Christians have this idea of like, we aren't called to be wealthy or rich, but my question to them would be, how else do we help fund God's kingdom, the things that he needs done on the earth, because it takes money. So I feel that the Lord has anointed me to earn money, and I have a passion to want to fund whatever God wants funded. So it's funny because I heard Jesse Duplantis say once that he gave away, I think he said that he gave away $1 million. And after I heard that, I said, God, I would love to be able to give away $1 million, like in one donation. And when I tell people that, they're like, what, give away $1 million? Like, are you crazy? But I think to myself, if you can give away $1 million, how much more do you have to give? So when I say kingdom funder, I feel like I'm called to fund God's kingdom, whatever that is, whether it's help third world countries, whether it's help build a church, help build our own church, or even just funding something else that's in a community that God would have done.
Wow, you're right. If God can allow you to give $1 million at one time, he is truly blessing you financially.
Right.
What are you reading right now?
I am reading The Final Quest by Rick Joyner. That's a book that I've already read before, but I really like that book. I think it's a good reminder of what God has called us to do as far as loving people. I am also reading TED Talks, The Public Guide, a guide to public speaking.
Favorite article of clothing?
I don't really have a favorite article of clothing, although I'd have to say, I should say socks, because I have my own brand of socks called Faces, and you should visit them, www.faces.com.
Yes, I'm gonna put a plug in too. Faces are absolutely adorable and comfortable. You need to get some.
Thank you.
Okay, this question is completely random.
Okay.
Have you ever smoked marijuana?
Yes, but I did inhale.
We're gonna leave that right where it was.
Right.
What is an average week like for you?
An average week, I work a lot, so an average week for me would be getting up around 6 or 7 in the morning. I try to do an hour of prayer time with the Lord, and I actually set a timer so that I don't cheat God. Sometimes it goes beyond an hour, but I try not to do it less than an hour. And that would just be worship, prayer, reading the Bible. I then get up and of course have some coffee and I start working. I have different clients, so I'm working on different projects throughout the day. I try to go to the gym for at least an hour a day and make my dad proud. I then also try to meet with the Lord again before I go to bed, because there's so much that the Lord is speaking to me about and so many things on my plate that I want to make sure I get his guidance about. So on Friday nights, we always have service at 7:30. I'm usually in church on Friday nights. Saturday is pretty much like Monday through Thursday. And maybe I'll get up with my cousins if I can get a chance to do that, or my friends. Then on Sunday, we have service at 2:30 p.m. So usually in the morning, I'm meeting with the Lord, or I am doing a little bit of work and trying to rest also. Then I go to church, and then of course it's football season, so I'm definitely catching some football in the evenings.
Wow, you're definitely a busy woman. What's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie is Rocky. I really love the entire series, but definitely the first one is my favorite.
Wow, I just got this image of you running up the steps.
Love Rocky Balboa.
Do you have a favorite TV show?
I don't have a favorite TV show. I don't have much time to follow shows, although I've kind of been trying to follow the Ozark, but the closest thing to a favorite TV show would probably be Shark Tank. I love that show because it's about business and I have such a passion for business. I always joke that it would be the ideal job and that I would be called Mrs. Jaws.
I think this says sewing machine, but that can't be right.
That is right. I actually do. I own a sewing machine and I like to sew. I don't get to as much as I would like to, but I do own a sewing machine. I wish that I could sew more. I think that it is a great art that is about to be lost amongst the generations. And I wish that I could teach my daughter, but I don't think that she's going for it.
So we've seen in previous videos, and of course if someone catches you on social media, this whole thing about the Redskins. So are you a sports fan?
Yes, of course. Hail to the Redskins. I'm a huge burgundy and gold fan. I love all sports though. I love sports live. I'm a fan of all DC teams. And I'd say that hockey is the only thing that I haven't been able to see live that I am looking forward to seeing in the future. And shout out to them for winning the Stanley Cup this past season.
Yeah, go Caps. I see you have a tattoo on your wrist. Any more?
Yes, I actually have 6 tattoos, and funny story, the longest one is about 12 inches long, and I actually got it sitting at the tattoo artist's dining room table, which was very uncomfortable, but he did a good job.
Tell us 5 apps that are on your home screen.
5 apps on my home screen. Can I pull my phone in for that? Besides like email, because I have 10,000 emails, Robinhood is an app that I have on my phone because it is a trading app and they don't charge commission fees. I have the NFL app, of course, because I'm following it always during the season. Google Translate, a calculator, and maybe a Spotify list.
You love bananas?
No, I hate bananas. The funny thing is I love all banana flavored foods. And I like banana flavored candy, and I like bananas in my smoothies, but I cannot eat a banana, just a raw banana. And even like banana pudding. My cousin Brandy makes the best banana pudding, but I cannot eat the banana, so I just eat all around it.
What is your favorite cuisine?
My favorite cuisine is Thai. I don't consider Korean to be one just because I eat as much Korean as I do American food, and I cook as much as Korean as I do American food. So I have to say Thai. I love spicy food.
What's your ethnic background?
My dad is Black American, my mother is Korean, and I was actually able to visit her side of the family for the first time in 2016, and it was a really good experience.
Wow. So, you received an interesting letter once? What's that about?
Yeah, so when I was younger, I was pursuing a rap career, as I mentioned in my book, and I wrote Chad Butler when he was locked up, and he actually wrote me back. And I think I might still have that letter in storage somewhere. For those that do not know, Chad Butler is Pimp C of UGK, RIP Pimp C, but I used to be a huge fan of UGK.
Any pets?
I don't have any pets. I've only had fish as an adult. I've been seriously considering getting a snake. I've kind of always wanted a snake, except I can't get over the idea of having to feed it live mice. So just last week I was telling someone that, and they said, well, you know that you can buy them frozen. And I thought, I'd rather have frozen mice in the freezer than to have to deal with live mice. So now she's made me want to get one again.
Oh no, I'm not for either one, the mice or the snake. I can't deal with that. Celebrity crush?
I don't really have a celebrity crush, but I joke and say that it's Ryan Gosling just because I love The Notebook.
Nickname?
My nickname is Rocky. My middle name is Raquel, and just a couple of my really close friends call me Rocky.
What's the scariest thing you've done?
The scariest thing I've done is bungee jump. I would never do that again. It was so scary, but I like the idea of making yourself get out of the comfort zone. So maybe I would do it again, but it was definitely the scariest thing I've ever done.
Name a food you refuse to eat.
A food that I refuse to eat, again, would be soft shell crabs. So I always wanted to try it, and I went to, I think it's called Jimmy's Seafood in Baltimore, because I saw this place on Triple D, diners, drive-ins, and dives. And I went there, and they are known, I think, for that particular sandwich, and I tried it, and I couldn't get over the fact of feeling like I was eating a crustacean. So I don't think I would ever do that again.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I've always wanted to try soft shell crab, and I've always thought that it may have that kind of thing going on. Favorite band or musician?
I don't have a favorite band or musician. Currently, I'd say I'm listening to a lot of Elevation Worship, City Point, Bethel Music, Hillsong. But if I am not listening to Christian music, I like reggae, I like 80s rock a lot, and probably old school 90s or 70s.
What was your first job?
My first job was a waitress in Patrick Springs, Virginia.
What is the most annoying question people ask you?
Are you Chinese? That is the most annoying question. I know that people are just trying to ask what the ethnic background is, but really, people, can you find another way to say that?
Wow, I can imagine that's very annoying. What's worth spending more on to get the best?
I actually think everything is worth spending more on. I always say you get what you pay for, and it's always about quality. So I think that whatever you like, it's worth spending more on.
What are you most looking forward to in the next 10 years?
That's a good question. I'm looking forward to, in the next year, of seeing even how God moves with I'm So Fly movement. I know what God has said to me and what I haven't shared with people, and I just can't wait to see all of that come to pass. I'm also looking forward to seeing my daughter grow and what she becomes. And I'm also looking forward to meeting my best friend and marrying him, and just everything that God is even doing in my life. He speaks to me about so much. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I know that these next 10 years are going to be amazing.
Wow, thank you for sharing those. We're gonna change it up a little bit.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw out some terms, and I want you to tell me the first thing that comes to mind. Here we go.
Okay.
iPhone, Android.
Android. I don't get the thing with iPhone users. Definitely Android.
Sweet, salty.
Salty.
Coffee, tea.
Coffee.
Vanilla, chocolate.
Men or ice cream? Okay.
Let's stick with ice cream.
That's the first thing that came to mind. Vanilla.
Favorite candy.
Now and laters.
Tattoos, piercings.
Both.
Hoops, studs.
Hoops.
TV, Netflix.
I'd have to say TV because I like sports and the news.
East Coast, West Coast.
I love both really, and I think that before I would have said East Coast, but I'm leaning toward the West Coast. I think I may relocate one day.
Fork, spoon.
Chopsticks.
That wasn't an option, but I'll take it.
First thing that came to mind.
Google, Alexa.
Alexa.
Sneakers, heels.
Heels.
Paperback, ebook.
Before I would have said paperback, but now I travel a lot and I like to have more than one book with me, so I'm going to say ebook.
Pagers, cell phone.
Pagers, hello.
Wow.
Don't you miss the days when people had to beep you and wait for your call versus them just calling you and thinking that you have to pick up your phone? I think that we need to bring pagers back, so definitely pagers.
Wow, that was a throwback. Curry, jerk.
Jerk. The spicier, the better.
Trader Joe's, Whole Foods.
Trader Joe's, they have a kale salad that I love.
Jordan, LeBron.
Definitely Jordan. No disrespect to LeBron, but I grew up in the Jordan era and he will always be the GOAT.
Pancakes, waffles.
Neither.
Aw. Text message, call.
Text message. I'd much rather you text me than call me, unless it's that serious.
Summer, winter.
Summer.
Book, movie.
Book.
Rain, snow.
Neither. Rain if I have to choose.
Comedy, horror.
Horror. I love horror movies.
Boat, plane.
Plane.
Phone, computer.
Computer.
Walking Dead, Grey's Anatomy.
Walking Dead.
Fruits, vegetables.
Vegetables.
Roses, daisies.
Tulips. What about tulips?
Ketchup, mustard.
Ketchup.
Weird, crazy.
Crazy.
Steak, chicken.
Chicken.
Mountains, beaches.
Beaches. I love beaches. You can never beat a beach.
Being too warm or too cold.
Being too warm.
Wild animals, domestic animals.
Wild animals so I can get my snake.
Wow, thank you for answering those. I just have one final question for you.
Okay.
What is something that you want people to know about you that I didn't ask?
Something I want people to know about me. Nothing really, because this is already hard enough. Maybe that I make a good macaroni and cheese. What about that? I actually like to cook, and it's funny because I always said I'm going to master macaroni and cheese. Who doesn't love that, right? But the funny thing about that is when I was a kid, my mother used to always tell me, if you don't know how to cook, no one will marry you. And she said it with such seriousness, I really thought that it was true. So I made sure I knew how to cook. So I'd share that with you. So now that you know more about me, 1, don't hold it against me, and 2, don't tell Deja that I smoked weed. I would love for you all to drop a comment about yourself down below. Tell me something about you that I don't know. And until next time, make sure you subscribe and don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at I'm So Fly Movement.